Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and it is Thursday morning, December 16th, and as planned, we have got the Holiday Fusion finally live in game, but we've also got a few other things to get you caught up, to keep you up to date on, so that you have full context of Raid Shadow Legends as we head into the end of the week and into the weekend, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, about the Fusion, by the way, I am planning on getting a dedicated guide out about the Fusion Champion. I do have access to the test server, and I've been playing around with the Champion for a couple hours now at this point, just gathering footage and editing things together to be able to show you in a video. So I'm hoping to get that out today, later on in the afternoon, or at latest tomorrow morning, hopefully. So that is coming down the pipeline, but I thought this would be interesting to show you because I hosted a poll on the YouTube channel to ask the community's thoughts on Tatura Rhymehide, which is the champion up there that you see featured in the Christmas Fusion. And it looks like the community sentiment is mostly around like an A+. It's the vast majority A, but then if anything it leans towards S, so like an A+ type of a grade for a champion, which I think is pretty fair. I would probably put it exactly like the community did. A, if anything, A+, not quite, maybe up in that S tier, but definitely not like a B. A pretty solid kit and pretty tanky champion that could make sense in a lot of different teams, and especially for progressing accounts and being viable in different areas of the game, tag team arena, doom tower bosses, lowering accuracy on the A1 and stuff like that. So yeah, I can mostly agree with the community sentiment there, but I just wanted to show you that really quick before we move on to the stuff going on in game. But I do also quickly want to let you know that we have got some super raids coming down the pipeline. You can see we've already got the Ice Golem Peak super raid going on right now, which is basically where you can crunch 2 runs into 1, double the energy, double the rewards. A really good feature if you're going to be grinding a dungeon, because you can basically do it twice as fast, or at least spend your energy twice as fast, get through your energy a lot more quickly. So Thursday, December 16th, which is today, is when the Ice Golem is obviously going to launch. These will each be live for 72 hours or 3 days. But then on Sunday, which is December 19th, we're going to be getting a super raid in the Spider's Den, so you can get a lot of your accessories there heading into the weekend. Then on, or not heading into the weekend, the end of the weekend. Then next week, exactly a week from now, on next Thursday, we'll have a super raid for the Dragon's Lair. And then again on the Sunday after that one ends, there will be a super raid for the Fire Knight Castle. So each one of these 4 are going to be getting a super raid coming up here in the relatively soon future. But also, sorry, I forgot to mention this in the intro. I'm distracted by the fusion and everything kind of going on. A lot to keep track of right now in Raid, which is exciting. There's a lot going on. But anyway, there's going to be a 10x, obviously, this weekend, launching tomorrow. And the 10x champions are going to be Tamasia for the Void Legendary, Kyoku, Crypt King, Grawl, Ignatius, and then the epics are going to be Ultimate, Gaelic, Ashak, the Wenderin, Mordecai, and Farrakhan, the Fat. So really quickly, I will just go through each one of these champions and give you a quick synopsis on them. So first up is the Void Legendary featured in this 10x, Tamasia, and definitely the thing to note here is the A2. We can put this to a 3-turn cooldown. We can do stun, decrease speed, AoE, HP burn. So an amazing ability for those later stages of the Spider, where HP burn kind of becomes the meta, but you can also get a lot of utility out of this champion in general. I don't think this champion's a top 7 or 8 Void Legendary. It's not Chris, Sify, Warlord, Hegemon, anything like that, but definitely solid and fun to have on your account. Kyoku is a new champion that is coming to the game as part of the Shadowkin, and something cool about Kyoku is going to make your team very tanky. I like her in maybe a defensive go second tag team arena type setup because of the passive here. When she gets hit, gonna heal all allies by 15% of her max HP, so you can scale it off of her stats, which is nice, and then also place increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. So you just get, when you get hit with a critical hit, boom, you get that increased defense on everybody. So it's gonna make a team very sturdy that's trying to get nuked down. And she's also got decreased attack, AoE, so she'll make a team very tanky indeed. Crypt King Grawl is also in this. Now he's mostly been thought of as not a super good champion, but I do see him get used a little bit in the Hydra. He's got decreased attack on the A1. He's got an HP aura. He's got AoE HP burn, which is a pretty good source of damage in the Hydra, and he will also extend the duration of any HP burn debuffs to 3 turns to keep them up a little bit more consistently. So definitely has a role in the game in some of those Spider and Hydra type scenarios. And then as we move into Ignatius, you can see kind of the theme going forward here. We're getting a lot of AoE HP burn type champions as part of this, because the cool thing about Ignatius is that his cannot be resisted. So you're going to get that AoE HP burn, and you don't even have to build him with accuracy. So if you're going for a specific spider strategy or something, you can just build him tanky, whatever you want. You don't have to worry about that. If you don't care about the provokes, you can just go ahead and always get that AoE HP burn. So Ignatius is definitely a good champion to have on your roster as well. Then as we move into the epics, we have got Ultimate Gaelic, who was part of the promotion that Raid did with Amazon Prime. The unfortunate thing about Ultimate Gaelic and why I think he doesn't see as much play is he's got a qualifier for his HP burn. You can see here he's got to be under an increased attack, which isn't like a brutal qualifier, but it is it just makes his value a little bit less consistent. Then for Ashok, I actually use this guy in my spider team because he's got this really cool passive here. Heal all allies by 5% of max HP every time someone under an HP burn gets a turn, which is going to happen a lot if you build a spider strategy around that. And also fill turn meter if you build him around freeze, but he also places freeze himself as well. So you can really get that doing a lot of cool things for your team. And I've been using him for a long time. Ever since they added Spider 25, I've been using Ashok in my team. Then for Mordecai, he can actually pair well in that scenario. He's got the AoE HP burn as well just like for an epic champion to be a non-legendary option to fill that role. And he'll also place increased attack buff on all allies when he does it as well. And then he's got a little bit of other utility to go along with it, but he is definitely used a lot in some of those similar Spider, Hydra type scenarios. And then the last epic is going to be Fabrican the Fat. The thing to note about him is the all allies except this champion will join and attack one target, where he's got the increased crit rate and the increased crit damage. So you'll see him in blender comps, clan boss teams, certain situations like that. He can really help a team crank out damage if you build the right roster around him. So that is all the champions in the 10X, and again, it is Tamaja, Kyoku, Crypt King Grawl, Ignatius, Ultimate Gaelic, Ashok, Mordecai, and Fabrican. It's a pretty par for the course 10X. It's kind of cool if you don't have any of those AoE HP burns. It'd be nice to scoop up like a Mordecai or an Ashok or something like that to help you later down the road, when that'll come in handy to progress in those later stages of the spider. Or if you would like to have that role in one of your 3 Hydra teams, I think it would make sense. I don't think any of the legendaries are worth like going crazy and spending a bunch of money and YOLOing a bunch of shards you saved up or anything like that. But a decent opportunity to chase some of those epics if you don't have any of those roles fulfilled. So as we head under the tournament tab, we've got the Ice Golem tournament that is currently live for, it is very relevant to the Fusion. You can usually see by the art on the outside here, you can see how the Fusion champion is featured in the art banner. So you know that you're going to want to get to the 2250 points to scoop up the champion that you're going to need, the rare on the right side, to be able to fuse into the epic you're going to need to go ahead and move forward with the Fusion. And there's also going to be a tag team arena tournament going on, but it doesn't look like it's going to be part of the Fusion based on the artwork, so you don't really have to super prioritize that or worry about that, which is good because I know a lot of you hate grinding the tag team arena, and I understand you on that one. Then we've got the 2 events here as part, well, actually all 3 of them are technically part of the Fusion. You're going to want to make sure you pull 20 mystery shards today to scoop up your 20 points and get some of these cheap rewards that are available to you. And then the Dungeon Divers is going to be coinciding with the Ice Golem and some of the stuff going on in terms of grinding the game coming up here. You're definitely going to want to get to 2,500 on the Dungeon Divers at least and focus on that. And then we're going to be having a Summon Rush. Now, typically for the Summon Rushes, if you get a certain amount of points, you'll get one of the epic champions that are part of the Fusion. So you can actually skip forward a little bit. So if you pull up the Fusion, usually in the Summon Rush, one of these will be available to you. And like the Summon Rush, the Champion Chase stuff, that's usually a little bit tougher. So that's usually where they will dangle one of the epics in there to really incentivize you to pull shards. And you can actually pull this up under the news tab and see that right here, the Summon Rush starting. Let me get, I can point at it right here. So boom, the Summon Rush is going to have a Visionary in it, and Visionary is one of those new epics. So you can actually skip needing some of those rares and just go for the Summon Rush if you've got the shards saved up and you're going to be pulling during the 10X anyway. This Summon Rush is going to be coinciding with the 10X that we just covered in game. So an opportunity to skip some of those rares and just go straight to the epic champion. But the Summon Rushes are usually pretty difficult to, you have to pull a decent amount of shards to get up to that epic champion. And then I'm actually a little bit surprised that Masamoto is going to be part of a champion training event next week. It's actually not going to be a champion chase or a summon rush. It's going to be champion training. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of points. It'll be like 12,000 points or something. So worth keeping that in the back of your mind. You're going to want to maybe stay prepared in terms of going hard on that champion training event. So you can skip some of those lower tiers and just go straight to the epic. So on that note, it is worth keeping in mind as well that those two are the ones in the middle on the fusion. So you've got Masamoto right here and then Visionary right here. So the ones in the middle, if you're going to be spending those resources to skip the rares and just go straight up, you would just go straight up the board here on the middle. But on the edges, you're still going to need these copies of the rares. So it is actually the 4 rares. It's the same across the board, but you would only need 2 copies of each instead of 4 copies of each if you're going to be getting both of those epics in the middle by the coinciding events, which was the champion training and then the summon rush coming this weekend. So now let's go over the offers and see what is going on here. So we've got 750 energy of 300, the gems of 200, the XP of 2 days, and then we're going to get the energy refills of 5 with 3 legendary tomes, and that should be everything. So 3, boom, 2.15. A generally useful pack, but it's not going to be a recommend from me for most of you out there. The multi-battle pack, this is probably decent. So let's go clear this, and let's do 700 energy. Okay, 700. And then 12 energy refills. Boom. 1.83. So basically, if 150 multi-battles is worth like $2 or $3 to you, this would be okay, but you're gonna get it over the course of 3 days. You won't get it all at once. So for those of you users that are only on mobile, you don't have access to PC or anything, or any sort of kind of auto farming, this would make a lot more sense for you there. The monthly pack, we know the drill, the mini mix, and then the Savage set is really only gonna make sense for the super high spenders that are competitive in the arena. So again, unfortunately, nothing super incredible in the shop that you would really need to get after, in my opinion. So alrighty, that's going to do it for the Thursday wrap-up video covering the launch of the Fusion and the 10X going on. So good luck in all of these different events going on, and I'm going to head on over to stream for a few hours right now. As always, there will be a pinned comment down below letting you know if I'm still live or not, and would love to have you stop by and say hi. But if not, have a great end of your week here, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.